Rome's last days as a republic, the Julius Caesar saga.
The Roman Republic, perhaps the most brilliant form of government the ancient world had ever seen. Yet, in its later years, it stumbled. With the right leaders, maybe it could have endured for centuries more. And at first glance, Julius Caesar looked like the perfect man to preserve it. Spoiler, he didn't. As we've seen in earlier history, Roman politics became increasingly factional while its territories grew vast. Between 135 and 30 BC, barely a decade passed without Rome plunging into some form of civil war. It's almost a miracle the Republic didn't collapse before Caesar even appeared. So the question is, was the Roman Republic doomed to fail, or did it actually stand a chance? To me, the answer is clear. The Republic had virtually zero chance of survival on its own. I love it, but it was sickly and fragile, already standing on its last legs. And so, let's meet the man who delivered the final blow, Julius Caesar. The pirate story. In his 20s, Caesar was captured by Cilician pirates who demanded a ransom of 20 talents of silver. Caesar laughed. Only 20? You should ask for 50. The pirates, charmed by his arrogance and charisma, agreed. During captivity, Caesar entertained them with stories, speeches, even poetry. Whenever they mocked him, he warned, jokingly, they thought, that once freed, he'd return and crucify them. They paid, they released him. And then Caesar came back with ships, recaptured the pirates, reclaimed his ransom, and, true to his word, crucified every last one. Moral of the story? Caesar valued image, charisma, and decisive action. He did not mess around. Caesar's rise, born into a noble family tracing its roots to Aeneas and Venus, Caesar felt overshadowed. His father had never been consul. In Roman culture, nobility wasn't enough. You had to prove your excellence. Caesar's goal? Achieve the consulship at all costs. To get there, he allied with Crassus, Rome's richest man, and Pompey, its greatest general. This first triumvirate was an informal alliance of wealth, military power, and Caesar's ambition. Pompey even married Caesar's daughter. As consul in 59 BC, Caesar rammed through debt relief and land reforms, often breaking traditions and sometimes outright laws. Yet, thanks to his imperium, political immunity, nobody could touch him. Once his term ended, however, he needed more protection. The solution? A provincial governorship and command of legions. Thus began his campaigns in Gaul, the Gallic Wars. For nearly a decade, Caesar expanded Rome's control over Gaul. He fought Helvetii, Veneti, Germans, and Britons. He even crossed the Rhine and twice invaded Britain. Though the first invasion floundered, the second pushed deeper inland. The climax came at Alesia, 52 BC, where Vercingetorix united the Gauls against him. Caesar's army built dual walls, 10 miles inward, 14 miles outward, besieging the city while defending against relief forces. Against all odds, he won. All of Gaul now belonged to Caesar, civil war. But politics shifted. Crassus died in Parthia. Pompey, now aligned with the Senate, stripped Caesar of his governorship. Returning to Rome meant trial and ruin. Instead, Caesar crossed the Rubicon in 49 BC, declaring civil war with the famous words, "Alea iacta est," the die is cast. Pompey fled to Greece, where Caesar crushed him at Pharsalus. Pompey fled to Egypt, but was murdered upon arrival. Caesar, horrified, had intended to pardon him. Instead, he turned to Cleopatra, allying with her in Egypt, politically and personally. Dictator and reformer. Back in Rome, Caesar was appointed dictator, first temporarily, then for 10 years, then for life. He enacted sweeping reforms, limited governors' power, reformed the Roman calendar, the Julian calendar we still use today, improved census, public works, and food programs, strengthened ties between provinces and Italy. He was popular with the people, but his methods, bribes, intimidation, bending laws, eroded the Republic's institutions. The Ides of March. In 44 BC, senators feared Caesar had become a king in all but name. On the Ides of March, Brutus, Cassius, and 60 conspirators assassinated him with 23 stab wounds in Pompey's theater. His last moments? Likely silent resignation upon seeing Brutus among his killers. The Republic's liberators expected to be hailed as heroes. Instead, Romans mourned Caesar, their generous and effective leader. Augustus Caesar's career was a paradox. He broke countless laws, yet stabilized Rome. He killed thousands, yet granted clemency where possible. He destroyed the Republic, yet laid the foundation for an empire. Ultimately, the Republic was too fragile. Civil wars or monarchy, one or the other was inevitable. Caesar showed the strength of centralized power, paving the way for Augustus and the Roman Empire. So yes, Caesar killed the Republic, but in doing so, he ensured Rome itself survived.